Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second edition, or Module 2, week number 2 of EDU 600. Before we get going with the week 2 materials, I'd like to congratulate everybody and thank everybody for your active participation on the discussion forums. There were 3 last week, including your introductions. I really enjoyed reading your introductions, and I'm glad there was so much conversation between students in this class. So welcome everybody once again to the class. Congratulations on making it this far. So, excuse me. As you can see, I am sitting outside. This is my backyard, one of my favorite places. It's too beautiful to be inside right at this moment, so I thought I'd do the weekly video outside. So, as you can see, we're moving to week number 2, which is really the qualitative side of things. We have 2 weeks of qualitative research, qualitative designs. This week is really an introduction and overview. We do get into specifics this week and next week. So I think the best way to get into the materials for this week will be to continue on the format that we've used. I'll go through the to-do list for this week. I have a couple of announcements concerning the materials, the discussion post, and also a upcoming optional Zoom meeting on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, excuse me, Tuesday at 7 p.m. So let's get right into it. So as you can see, what you're looking at on the screen, in addition to my blabbing head over here, is one of my favorite beach pictures. I go down to the beach quite a bit in Maine. Usually walk the beach at least one day a week. Okay, what are we doing this week? Well, first of all, you're viewing this video. This is where the video is going, but at the time I can't put it in there, so I can't record it. So take a look at the video. During week 2, you will read chapter 3 and view the below videos. Chapter 3, there's no additional, well, there's one additional assigned reading. We'll go into that. The videos. So these are, once again, done by Jeff Beaudry. Jeff is, as you know, the textbook author and the head of this department. And Jeff produces excellent videos on various topics. And in this week, we have 3 recordings. You may have looked at one of these last week, but maybe not. This is really the week you want to take a look at it. The first one is just kind of an overview of qualitative research. Second gets into qualitative research in a little more detail, but with research literacy as being the main focal point. And then the third one provides additional information on the research. So as I did say, Chapter 3 is all on qualitative research. If you remember, I mentioned in the introductory video that we start this course with qualitative research, then we move to quantitative research, which includes experimental research, and then we do mixed methods and single subject research towards the end of the 7 weeks. So that's the progression we are following. Please read Chapter 3, take a look at these videos. That will provide the foundation for the work that I am asking everybody to do this week as we move forward. Okay, so there are additional videos that I posted online. I put these online last week, but I realized it was the first week. There were 3 discussion posts to do. I want to highlight one of these, how to locate primary research studies. And the reason I even mentioned this one, they're all excellent videos produced by the Glickman Library staff. If you don't know, we have a research librarian dedicated to our program in this course. His name is Tim Lynch, and I will post his contact information online. If at any point you're having difficulty locating materials in the library, research paper, primary research, please let me know and I can help you out. But also you can reach out to Tim Lynch also in the library. Tim is just an excellent resource, and as I previously said, he's a research librarian. But this one in particular, how to locate primary research, gets into the specifics of keywords, USM databases, and the materials that you need to find primary research. Okay, we are going to have a discussion forum this week in conjunction with reading chapter number 3, which spells out how do you go through each one of these sections, how do you analyze qualitative research. There were some questions that came through the discussion forum. I'll get back to those and I'll talk about how I am going to address those discussion forums. But what I'd like you to do, this is the additional reading. It's called Look at My Own Forest and Fields in a Different Way. So I'd like you to read that, and we will, if you can do it before Tuesday evening, that would be great, because we are going to be having an optional Zoom meeting on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. I will include the information in the announcement, and it's also on Brightspace, and you'll see it just below. So in addition to this article, there's a checklist for evaluating the process, meaning the process. What are the sections that you're going to be looking at? Get into that in just a little more detail. One thing that is due this week, and I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, in the grade in the assignments area, this date was May 30th. Now next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. I pushed it out one day. I would probably do it a couple of days, but it's important that we stay on track this semester. 7 weeks goes very quickly, and each week builds on itself. So I'd like you to find and locate 6 articles on your subject. Now here's where we get back to your subject. Your subject is something that you are interested in, either professionally or personally. I've had people in previous classes, to give you an example, some previous classes, there was one student who somebody in her family was going through chemotherapy, and she was really interested in what does chemotherapy do to the brain. What are the effects of putting these chemicals in your system? I mean, these chemicals are probably saving your life, but still, what is the effect on the brain? So that's what their topic was. You do not need to formulate this topic into a question. It's just your topic. So the first thing you need to do for this assignment is to come up with a topic. If you have any problems coming up with an idea or a topic for studying what you might like to study this semester, if you have some ideas, shoot them to me. I've had some students shoot them to me in an email, and they say, which do you think? Which is more doable? And I'd be happy to help. So your goal is to find 6 research articles, primary research articles. Talk a little bit more about this on Tuesday evening, and you have until the following Monday. This is Memorial Day. You have till midnight. If you need a little more time, I'm sure we can work something out. I do mention that there is an optional Zoom meeting this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Here is the information, the link, and I want to repeat the importance of this is to me it's very important that everybody understands this is an optional meeting. At the Zoom meeting on Tuesday, I would like to cover the course syllabus. I'd like to cover the assignments in brief to kind of go through the flow. I'd like to cover some of the questions that you raised in the discussion post from week number 1, where I asked you to post one question that you have on the final assignment, and they were excellent. Rather than responding individually to those, I decided I wanted to just summarize them in our Zoom meeting. If you cannot make the Zoom meeting, don't worry. I record every Zoom meeting, and then I will post it either later on Tuesday evening or on Wednesday, so you can see everything that went on. I've tried to do various polls to figure out what the best evening is, what day is the best, and they are inconclusive. Everybody is busy. I understand that. That's why I make these optional. So that is on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Here's all the sign-on information. Okay, so what I'd like you to do for the discussion post is read this article and then answer these questions. Now, you do not have to go overboard with answering these questions. What I really want is a discussion to go on between people in our class, the students in our class. You are not expected to be experts at this time, but through careful reading, I highlighted the paper. You can go in, you can see what I highlighted, and we can talk about this if you have any questions on Tuesday at the Zoom meeting. But I'd like you to read the article, there's a checklist in here, and I'd like you to go through what was the purpose and design of the article. How did they sample and/or the sampling? How did they collect data? Did they use interview, observations, artifacts? Now, these are all techniques that are used in qualitative research. Part of this discussion post is to just get people thinking about reading research and kind of quickly determining, is this qualitative, quantitative, or is it mixed methods? How did they analyze the data? Meaning, did they do interviews, and in the interviews, did they code the interviews, just say, to come up with themes and patterns? Data analysis strategies, results, and then overall quality of the article. Now, take a look at Chapter 3. There's a whole section on how do you determine the trustworthiness, credibility of the data, and the transferability. So, meaning, I could do a research that just isn't set up in a very cohesive way. It's not set up so it could be transferred to other things. So in Chapter 3, it describes how can you even tell if the research that you're reading, especially qualitative research, is trustworthy and is it transferable. So that is it. What I'd like, if at all possible, do your initial discussion post by Wednesday of the week, and then by the end of the week comment on 2 others. If you read it sooner, you have any questions, on Monday, you can shoot those to me, you can call me, you can contact in any way you want. Okay, so what is due on May 31st? This is the article capture. I'm going to click on that. So here's all the information on it. Oh, this is wrong. I have to correct that. This is May 31st. I thought I got all of these, so I will have to correct that. So this is, once again, May 31st. So the article capture form. For each one of the articles, there's one of my maps that I use. Okay, so here's the article capture sheet. Details, so you do this for each one of your articles, and it's a way to keep track of them, and also it's a way that you can start seeing maybe some patterns, but mostly it's a way of keeping track of them. The author's name, the date of the research paper, the article title, the journal title, the volume, the issue, the pages, the access date, and the database. So here's an example of a properly formatted APA, American Psychological Association format. This is called a hanging indent, and as you can see, this is the actual resource. It's not the one that we're doing. This is just in here for, excuse me, this is in here just as an example. So what I'd like you to do is fill in the top. I'd also like down here, it says provide 3 to 5 sentences on your article. One thing I would like you to include in here is why you know this is either qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods research. Oftentimes it spells it out in the abstract or up, but I really would like you to write in here, what kind of research is this? One of the questions that people have asked are, do I need all qualitative research, all quantitative research, all mixed methods research, or do I need two of each for the assignment? I do not make that a requirement, and the reason being there's certain types of research that lend itself more towards just say qualitative research. There are other research that are more suited to quantitative. There's qualitative and mixed methods. Mixed methods, just to give you a snapshot, is you're using both. Just say you're using a survey, you get a bunch of numbers after the fact. That is the quantitative side of things. But you're sitting there as a researcher and you're saying, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to decipher what these numbers tell me, so I'm going to do a qualitative research. I'm going to pick another sample and actually interview these people and look for patterns. So if you get all 6 quantitative articles, that's fine with me. I know some professors like 2 qualitative, 2 quantitative, and a mixed methods, and maybe a single subject. I think the topic you have will dictate what kind of articles and what kind of research you're going to get. So that is that. What I'd like you to do is fill these out, and then I'd like you to submit them to me. If at all possible, it is helpful to me if you could put in a link or some kind of way that I can see your research and or your abstract. But I don't want that included in this part or in the 3-sentence summary. You don't need to go overboard with this. 3 sentences is fine. That's part of this course. You read something, you analyze it, and then you write about it. The shorter, the sweeter, the more concise you can do, the better. So that's it for me at this point. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. For those that have taken classes with me in the past, you know you can contact me. You can call me. If you do call me, leave a message so I know that it's somebody in the class rather than some crank call that I am getting. Email, text, whatever works best with you. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you do get a chance to get outside and enjoy the 80-degree weather today. And I will see everybody online. And don't forget, Tuesday at 7 p.m., follow the link in the Brightspace information. We have an optional Zoom meeting. Bring your questions to that. They usually go about a half hour, sometimes in 45 minutes or an hour. So if you can make it, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions. See ya.